So first we're gonna drape our table. The technician is going to unwrap the first layer of the pack and hand it to the sterile surgeon, who then can put it on the table and open the second drape. When you're doing this, you have to be very careful to stay away from the table, and as soon as that drape has touched the table, it's no longer sterile, so you should not touch any part of the drape that touched the table. You can either leave this drape underneath your table drape, or you can just grab it in the center and hand it to someone or throw it in the trash. So this is your actual table drape now that's going to be sterile. The way we have them folded here is that they fold lengthways, the long axis. There's different ways of folding a table drape. So what I recommend is when you get a table drape where you're not familiar with how things are, just briefly open it up a little bit, kind of get a sense of how it's folded. So then I'm going to drop the middle onto the table and find my ends and throw them off the sides. At this point, I can still touch the drape. I can also have an assistant help me on the other side by touching just the corners, and we can simultaneously open the drape and allow it to cover the table. At this point, the only part that you will consider sterile is the top of the table and just the edges. So you can touch the edges to move the table, because sometimes you need to do that during surgery, but you should never consider anything below your waist sterile. So it should always stay at this level. And so it's really important when you're opening your drapes and getting your patient draped for surgery that you keep this part sterile so that you know it's sterile for surgery. So once my drape is open, then the technician can hand me the surgical pack. So he's going to open it in such a way that he can protect his non-sterile hand from the pack and from me, so that I can just take the inner wrapped pack and set it on the table. Now, because I have a sterile field, it's really not a big deal of keeping anything sterile when I open this pack. So the goal is just to open up the pack enough so that I can then organize my instruments and drape my patient.